Hello again, and welcome back to SCLC TV. I'm Maynard Eaton, and of course, our president and CEO, Dr. Charles Steele Jr., but also joining us this week is Reverend Jared Sawyer Jr., a junior at Morehouse College and the founder of You, Power, and Purpose.
Yes, sir.
Before we get started with you, Dr. Steele, we've had the passing of our good friends Ralph Worrell and most recently SCLC legend Miss Rita Samuels. Miss Samuels can be seen on our Facebook page. He gave a testimonial about her life and with SCLC. That's on our Facebook page, SCLC Facebook. But Dr. Steele, there's some who suggest our leadership is getting old. Reverend Lowry's 96. Dr. Vivian's 93. Are we bringing along young people like Reverend Jared Sawyer enough? Some criticize us saying we're not.
Oh, yes, we are. Reverend Sawyer and I've known him for a period of time being here in Atlanta, and he was also at Miss Samuels, Rita Samuels' going away celebration, going home celebration, I should say.
That was a trying and tearful time that day, wasn't it?
It was very, very trying, because she was a pillar of the civil rights movement, going home celebration. I like to say going away home. I really do, because we all must make that transition. But going away home celebration for Rita was something that I cherish, because, Maynard, as you know, you was with me. We had Christmas dinner with her.
Yes.
Right here at SCLC.
Our last Christmas dinner.
Our last Christmas dinner.
Wow.
Right here. Her going away home Christmas dinner. And I just feel so elated over the fact that she wanted to be with us and talk about us as a family. And I know Reverend...
So you were there.
Yes, sir.
Why is a young college student there at a funeral going home ceremony for a legend, an SCLC veteran? How do you connect the dots there?
Well, I'll tell you, I only got a chance to meet Dr. Samuels a few times, but she made such a significant impact in my life. As an activist, as a leader, it really means a lot for someone like me, for someone like Dr. Samuels, to encourage me to pick up the mantle of Dr. King and to move forward as a change agent in society. It means a lot when she not only encourages me but connects me with others who can mentor me and lead me along a path towards my destiny and my purpose. It means a lot for me, not only for her to connect me with mentors and for me to encourage me, but also for her to give me guidance and to justify that my aims in activism is not in vain.
Are you rare? Is he rare, Dr. Steele? We don't see many young people of his ilk coming through here and asking for your advice. They might say they want to be you. They're not saying they want to come and learn from you.
Reverend Sawyer and I talked about that. I told him, I said, I have an attraction for young people have an attraction for me. But then when they get down to the bottom line, most time, not all the time, they want to be in my shoes right now. And I told Reverend Sawyer that. And, he received that. And I got tough with him, gonna see if he gonna say, well, I'll see you later. He stayed and he was interviewed without knowing he was being interviewed. He has a great opportunity to come on board with us as an affiliation. Not as a chapter. I want him as an affiliate. And he's going to bring over 3,000 young people with him. And we're going to travel. We already committed that we're going to travel the world together.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, man.
How important is it for this transition? Again, critics say you're not passing the torch.
That's right.
Our young person,
right.
Our chief of staff, says, why not? We can light their torch, not pass it.
That's right. First of all, simultaneously, we can light it and pass it. You have to do both. First of all, with the spirit of Reverend Sawyer, he understands my vision. And he been texting me and called me. I was in Dallas, Texas, outside of Dallas, in Hawkins, Texas, really. And he called me yesterday, and I'm leaving for Fresno, California in a few hours. And he said, I want to meet with you. And we've been seeing each other, talking briefly. He been texting me, showing me where he been preaching. He is a preacher, ordained preacher.
Yes,
I love it. And as you said, man, a junior at Morehouse, a great institution in our own community, in our own rights as African Americans. And I was just at Morehouse, I was telling him, with Joe Madison. A lot of potential there at Morehouse with Reverend Sawyer. Jarvis Christian College out there with Dr. Newman, my good friend. These young people are ready.
Are young people moving? We hear the Parkland protesters. We hear Black Lives Matter. But are young people moving forward? Is there a new movement afoot?
Oh yes, there is. Because I think that it's almost like our parents and our grandparents produced fruit. We are the fruit. We're in a season of ripening, and we have now reached that ripened state. We're way more aware. We see that what affects you affects me. In other words, of what Dr. King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we're making this decision that we're going to pick up the mantle. We're going to follow our ancestors, the example that they brought forth, and we're going to make the decision to do whatever it is that we can to live out our purpose just like they have lived out there. So there's definitely a movement that is rising up like never before.
So what we see on TV is not just a moment. You think it's a movement?
Oh no, I come across so many young people who are more woke today.
More woke.
than, probably 7-8 years ago. I think it's because of, number one, our access to information. We've got social media, we've got Google, we can figure out anything that we need. And number two, and what it does is it exposes to us the good and the bad. Maybe in ways that maybe 10-15 years ago someone had to show that to you. Now we can see it so visibly, it's just a rhema kind of opportunity and experience.
But man, also, Reverend Sawyer and I agree that it's not one way to do anything.
Yeah.
And first thing is that we agree that it's no gap between the elderly community as well as the young people. That's
there is no gap?
Right. There is no gap.
And I have to 100% agree. I have to say that I have never received resistance from Dr. Steele, from any of the three you named, Dr. Vivian and Dr. Lowry. Never received resistance. Where I would receive resistance is if I'm like maybe some other young people who are not willing to receive the wisdom that they're sharing, or to hear the things that are really going to construct.
So you're doing some teaching amongst your peers, huh?
Well, absolutely. That's what needs to happen. My generation has to embrace the wisdom that the past generation is trying to give. They're not bringing us down. Ambassador Young, another example.
Absolutely.
He is never. I've never experienced resistance with an Ambassador Young or any of our legacy leaders who've been out there fighting for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I've never experienced it.
And what he and I agreed on, man, and this is really good, what Reverend Sawyer and I agreed on, the fact is that, and I said this at Jarvis Christian College to the young people, I apologize because I haven't listened enough. I haven't listened enough. And I don't think they listen enough. So we agreed to find a happy medium where we can listen and then conversate. Listen, then conversate. And I agree. I tried to make everybody SCLC rather than give them that space. And I apologize for that. I want them to be an affiliate of SCLC, not particularly under the umbrella of SCLC. And guess who had that vision? Dr. King and Dr. Lafayette. They both said, and Dr. Lafayette was telling me, Charles, let's get affiliates. And we'll get a few chapters, but let's get affiliates. We can have chapters, but more affiliates. That means you have more people. Collaboration in the movement aspect of SCLC.
That's what we're talking about, collaboration. This is new stuff, old and new, young and old. Old.
Watch yourself.
I pointed at me too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is SCLC TV coming to you from the national headquarters of SCLC on Auburn Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. See you next week.